What's up everyone, it's Matt Morozic aka MVM397 with Freya work in progress number 3, and we are really close to getting to paint. So after I did my first round of primer with the Krylon Max, I went ahead and I filled in any little spots that I saw that needed some spot filler and wet sanded everything with a 3M superfine sanding sponge, one of these guys. And that took a little while, just because there's a lot of pieces, a lot of details to get into, and she's looking really good. I could probably paint her now and most people wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but I got a few little spots that I see that I want to hit again, just to make sure I got everything covered. But as you can see, her skin is very smooth. None of those tool marks that we had at the very beginning, those are all gone. You can see a little spot there in her elbow that needs a little touch of, spot putty. All the little areas that need to touch are very, very minor. Again, like I said, I could probably get away with throwing paint on her now, and no one will probably, be able to tell the difference, but I'm pretty particular. There's a little spot right there. I don't know what that is. You can see it's like raised right there in her, kind of her midriff section. I don't know what that is. I gotta sand that out. And as I do this, since the Krylon Primer is very thick, I go through and I rescribe all the details and everything. So all the details in her chest plate there have been rescribed after I prime. You can see there's a little mar right there in her shoulder. That's because I was getting ahead of myself and I was like putting her pigtails on with the primer was still kind of wet, and so that's what that is. That's not from the kit, that's from me being too quick. Face is looking really good, nice and smooth. See if this will focus. There we go, looking really nice. So considering where we started with about a week ago, she's looking really good. Lots of sanding. There's lots of sanding, not too bad. I was gonna go in here and get this all perfect under here, because I thought about maybe making her skirt removable. But what I ended up doing is I ended up putting a magnet in this area. She's magnetized at the waist here. And you can see there I stacked 2 magnets. And that's not pretty, but that's okay because no one sees it. And that's just like, it's easy to break down. But the resin is real thin in the crotch area. So let's see if I can see it. Some light. Anyway, she kind of looks like a transvestite because they can see a little bit. The magnet kind of sticks out down there between her legs, and that's just because the resin's real thin there, and there's nothing wrong with the kit. It's thin, so in order to magnet through there, it just kind of sticks out. But man, her legs look really, really smooth. I think there's like 2 little spots that I saw. You can kind of see one right there above her knee, right there. Needs a little bit of spot putty. Again, very, very minor things, but man, she's looking good. So after I did all the sanding and everything and rescribed, I went on this primer I use next, which you're seeing now is Mr. Surfacer 1200, and there is a Mr. Surfacer 1500, which is what I'm going to use. I've never used it before, but it'll be finer than the 1200. And when I'm done with all these little spot putty things, you can see a little bit in here where I missed right there. I'll hit her one more time with the Mr. Surfacer 1500, and this actually right here is really smooth. This could take paint no problem. Got the gnome's arm here. This arm comes off, so I'm debating whether I should kind of paint everything like underneath, like where his legs are and stuff, and then fix that seam there, or should I fix it first? I'm guessing I should probably go ahead and fix it now because it's not too, I don't think it'd be too hard to get paint in there. It is a little tight, but masking it will be a little bit of a bear. But that's kind of what I was thinking. Or maybe I think I know what I should do. I should probably take the arm off, paint the pants, and then fix this and then mask the pants. Is kind of what I'm thinking. It's just real tight in there. But looking real good. The gnomes look good. The base needs another sanding. I got some schmutz in there, just some dirt. when I was doing my last primer. But all the seam lines are gone. Those are looking really good. I did a really good job on that. All the details are really popping now. This primer does, you can see a spot back here. Right there, I gotta do a spot putty. And when I do the spot putty, I use this Bondo spot and glazing putty. This is real good. The best thing about this stuff is it'll stick to primer, so you don't have to have bare resin for it to work. If I was going to use, like, to me as light curing putty, I would have to take it down to resin for it to stick. And when I'm in this stage, I don't want that. And I got a little spot right there. I think there's about a half a dozen little spot putty things I've got to do, nothing bad. And maybe a couple little areas that need a little more sanding, but she's like 99% ready for paint. But now you can see, man, that chainmail is just really popping. The details are really sticking out. And I did one little boo-boo. I went to go pin the legs and actually drilled through the back side of... I was so mad. I drilled through the back side of here. The drill bit came out. And kind of screwed it up. You can't see it because I fixed it, but it was quite annoying. I had to go in there and do some putty work and stuff. I had to resculpt some of the fur because I screwed that up. So that's looking really good. The only part that's not primed yet is the back skirt. I did take a hair dryer to it yesterday after I did my sanding and everything, and it's getting pretty close. It needs a little more heat in here so that when I put it on, it's better now. Before, it wouldn't go on there very good at all. So just a hair dryer with some heat, and I got to bend this out a little bit right there. I got some interference between the leg and that part right there. It's not bad now. It's actually I could probably get away with this because all it's hitting is down here at the bottom. So I might just leave that, but that's looking really good. And just looking at the reference photos from the one that Jim painted up, these are hitting just the way his did. I thought that maybe this was supposed to kind of drape like this, and I might bend that so it does actually do that because it's got this kink in it to make it look like it's supposed to do that. So I may do that. This is very thin, so it doesn't take much heat to get it to move. So once I get that finalized, I'll go ahead and get that primed and sand down. Let's see, everything else has been primed. Final primer, helmets, so they're looking really sharp. So I have my colors off a little here. I've got a window open and I've got my desk lamp on. So I got yellow light from the desk lamps and I got blue light coming in from the windows. These are looking really good. I've got to work on getting the horns to fit on this. It's these antlers right here. One side fits really good, and the other you can see there where I was trying to get it to fit, and it's rubbing. So I got to work on that a little bit. I think I've got to carve a little bit out of the side here. You can see there where the primer's rubbing off. So got to work on the fit on that. The other side fits really good, no problem. That looks good. Here's her front loincloth. Looking really good. And this needs a little sand because I got some schmutz in it. Right there you can see I got some dust in it. So I need to sand that out and probably do, and right up there in the corner, upper left hand corner. So got to take those out, sand that, and do one more around the primer. Some of these parts are ready for paint. Like this is ready for paint. It's looking really good. No seam line is visible. It's nice and smooth, ready to go. This helmet's looking good. Maybe a little bit right. Maybe a little spot putty right there on that horn. But looking good. Let's see. I feel the bubbles on the bottom side of this guy, and they're looking pretty good. I may go back and sand them one more time. Yeah, on the knee there, you can see there, as this primer has shrunk, they've kind of popped out a little bit again. But I filled them with the glazing putty and primed them. But it looks like they need one more little round of maybe sanding and putty, and then those are good to go. On the only other part that isn't primed right now is the crow, and that's because I put some spot putty in his head last night where that bubble was. I'll go in and kind of carve out those details and then get him in primer. But she's looking really good. I'm really happy with how she's looking so far. I'm really stoked on how her skin looks because it had all those tool marks in it, but she's looking really good. Super smooth. So not a real long video, I'm just going over where I am right now. So Looking good. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching as always. The next time I do a video, hopefully I'll be throwing some paint on her. And I have to kind of work out my head in the order that I want to paint. I think some areas I need, initially I was going to paint the skin first and mask that off, but I think some areas, like I probably need to paint her helmet first, then mask that off, then maybe do her skin, and then mask that off, and then go back and do the belt and her chest plate, and then like hand paint this little thing here. The gnomes, more likely their skin will get painted first and then their clothes. So I got to kind of work out a game plan as far as paint, because it's pretty, for me this is a complicated paint job since it's only my second figure. But that's all there is for now. Thanks for watching as always. This is Matt Morozic, aka MVM3897, signing off. Catch you guys next time.